one direction.
Okay.
And put it in the crumple machine.
This bill goes through terrible things. Poor Andrew Jackson.
I don't see any ink loss on this one.
Note survives.
Cash does eventually wear out, and when it does, the Fed plucks it from circulation at currency centers like Iraq.
So what happens with these deposits that goes through the machine is centers are checking for the quality of that money.
Right.
And it's through a series of light emissions in a note.
Yeah.
And based on that, it decides whether it's a good note or bad note.
Yeah, sure.
If it's a good note, it goes to the vault and it's recirculated.
Right.
If it's not, it goes into a shredder, it sucks down the tube.
No kidding.
It goes into
They destroy it right here.
Right here, right
So
here.
when you say bad note, I mean we're talking like a torn note or one that's got dirt, schmutz on it.
Worn.
Right. So, for instance, like if
Well,
I'm
I can't really, you're not supposed to bring any money out here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
It turns out that having cash in your pocket is a security
something
breach.
my wife gave me, right?
I love Jake. Okay, no.
Has a nice thing on it. This would get rejected.
That would be destroyed.
That would be destroyed immediately.
I'm going to have to
Pick
ask
that
you to
up.
put
I'm
that
sorry.
away.
I'm sorry. Sure, I'll put it away. But so let's say that the kind of currency that I would have in my pocket, right, or that anybody has in their wallet, they, you know, I take it to the bank, I deposit it there. Eventually, all the money that people have in their wallets makes its way through a machine like this?
So at some point in time, I would think it would.
In rare and extreme cases, the Fed faces a job that is simply too big for the machines to process and shred. In the months following Hurricane Katrina, the Fed spent a number of weeks burning millions of water-soaked, moldy bills. In all, over 190 million worth of cash. The Fed's most important job during a crisis is to keep money available. Imagine if our ATMs ran dry. Yet when the unthinkable happens, moving money can become a logistical nightmare in an instant.
The aircraft involved this morning, American Airlines Flight 11, Boston to Los Angeles. That was the first.
What we're about to show you is footage captured on 9/11 from the many New York Federal Reserve security cameras.
We really never even got to that close to the building. The explosion blew and it knocked everybody over.
These images have never been broadcast before.
We're here, not 500 feet from where the Trade Center stood. And I remember it, even though it was more than 10 years ago, like it was yesterday, this incredible noise.
We started to see paper raining in the sky.
When the South Tower collapsed, there was this enormous dust cloud.
And then you felt the heat, you know, a block and a half away, through the window of that fireball. You could actually feel the heat against your face.
We looked up at our cameras and saw our officers. I think the quote was, "They're running, that's not good, why are they running?"
It was like midnight when that dust cloud enveloped this building. So what the officers did down on the ground floor is they changed the normal command, which is lock the building down, and they opened the doors and they were bringing people in off the street.
And then the people started to run into the building. Smoke and ashes and dust and just shock on their face, and it's amazing. And people were running out of the building. And we were trying to tell people, don't run out because you don't know what's out there.
The heart of the world's financial center was a war zone. People fled, trading halted, payments froze.
Folks are trying to use their cell phones. We're using any means possible to try to communicate. A, know where our staff is and we're accounting for, and B, try to get into contact with the institutions.
Nationwide, planes were grounded, and the fear was that the checks they carried wouldn't clear.
The biggest challenge you have after something like this as a central bank is you want to prevent a massive human crisis from becoming an economic and financial one as well.
On the day of the attack, the Fed issued a simple press release, telling the world they were open and operating. They would keep money flowing.
What you're really trying to do is make sure that people can still live their lives. Cash is available. They can use checks. They can use debit cards. Small companies that are expecting payments for goods, they can reasonably expect those payments to go on.
One of the things that happened in the late afternoon on September 11th, as this mass exodus took place, they would go to ATM machines and take out cash.
We were asked by management to get well over $1 billion cash into the city from East Rutherford. Everything was closed, obviously, at that time, highways, bridges. So we made a caravan to bring us over the bridge, and then that money could be brought to a facility that could break it down and send it to all the ATMs and get done what needed to be